pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, Patty.
Russ.
Here.
Gary.
Here.
Gary.
Here.
Jeff or Jim?
Debbie.
Here. Okay, you got your list of checks, probably?
Yes.
Transcendent technology,
Oh, that's our low loading software
or,
for tax collection. and
oh,
bonds.
okay.
I'm almost ready to explain it.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Anybody have any questions?
Checks 16822 to 16868, and your checklist is not in sequential order because I dated a couple checks wrong. And then electronic fund transfer 2019-19 through 2019-21, total of $75,696.44. In addition to this, there will also be the end of quarter tax payroll made this afternoon or tomorrow, so that will be in addition to the 75.
That would be the federal tax deposit and the state one, right?
Yep.
I'll make the motion to approve checks
All set?
16,822 through
Oh, okay.
16,868,
Thank you very much.
I believe it was?
Yep.
No, can't do that, there's higher numbers. 891 must be, huh? And the 3 electronic transfers.
You get a second?
Second.
Want to do a roll call vote, Patty?
Russ?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Debbie?
Aye. Next item on the agenda is the CSM for Weigel, which I already have. What he's doing is a sale of property and splitting lots. There's no change in land usage. County's not even gonna look at it. Everything stays in farmland pres and the whole shot. He's just selling some property. So you wanna look at it? So this here and this here. Where is that, Larry? That's up over this way, isn't it?
Yep, just north of the river.
Oh,
Larry Scheuer runs it right now,
okay.
and he's the one purchasing it, correct?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
the land usage is not changing at all. It's lot 1 and lot 2.
by the planning commission?
It doesn't even need to go there. The county isn't even approving it. We just need to sign off as a board. I'll need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
I do a roll call on that one. Russ?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Debbie? Aye. Then your pen to sign.
I need to find out my, taxes. So she said she mailed it
You
2
want
weeks
a
ago,
copy of it?
and I she never received
Yep.
it. And I remember the last.
What's the date, 1:30? 12:30.
Of,
Two.
last name is Sharma, S-H-A-R-M-A.
There we go. Then you can hand
And
this all to him. Yes, ma'am. And then you got your list of purchase orders you guys need to look at.
I'm gonna read the whole thing.
I think that top one was already taken care of, wasn't it, the 250?
I don't even, by that description, I didn't know what it was for.
It was reimbursement to you, I think that was for batteries, wasn't it? That was in November, I think we took care of that one already.
Yeah, I think that's the battery.
I think it
yes.
just came up because of the way it's put into the computer. So the top one's already been taken care of.
That's maybe when it's line through.
Yeah. But just so,
Just wanted to make sure. Not doing the wrong thing.
did I do that quick enough for you, Larry?
That'll work.
They gonna be able to get that all done?
Yep.
Good deal. You heading up there today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ready to go? We're looking at purchase orders now. The top one for the 250 was the one with line through, that was for the batteries, correct?
That was batteries, and the reason it's still showing up on the purchase order list is because it was a reimbursement. Rod went and, paid for that, and it was reimbursed where it should have been reimbursed on a paycheck. So you can't cancel a purchase order in QuickBooks that goes to a paycheck.
Watch some number.
But it's already paid, it was
Watch the
approved,
number on it.
and that's why it's crossed off on that list. The rest of them,
I don't know if you made any signature. I was supposed to write it. That was
what,
good.
2, 3,
Three.
We have a
17 is done. Ready to go. Pillars is cut-off saw kit, 2 batteries, chainsaw kit with 1 battery. You guys wanna see the,
With chargers also.
with those, the quote on that?
You wanna take a look at those invoices?
There's 19 and 20.
Is that like a sawzall or?
It's not like a sawzall, it's a
More
circular
like a
saw.
skills, more like a skills.
Yes, it's like they use on the highways for cutting concrete and stuff, except this is handheld and it's put up by walking. So it uses batteries, so that if we're in an area where there's not enough oxygen for it, because we do have one cut-off saw right now, smaller. And it's roughly, its age is roughly 20 years old, was purchased same time that the engine was purchased. And the guys were like, we should be getting a newer one, and we had looked at gas-powered ones. but Milwaukee had come out with this one here, and they're like, they really believe that this is the one that we should be going with for the pure sake. One is it's less money before it's all over out, and also it's battery operated, so if we don't have enough oxygen, say we got, if something collapses or we're gonna cut something inside a building where there's not enough oxygen, this electrical will work. And also for some gals and stuff, and some of the guys that are getting out, gas-operated tools, trying to start chainsaws and stuff is getting to be more and more of an issue of getting everybody to do it on a timely manner. And this takes that away. This is basically put the battery in, squeeze the trigger, it goes. We were able to demo this unit down in Pittsville, they had a house burn, and he had brought out, Fillers had brought out all of their Milwaukee tools for us to use in the building any way that we see fit. We took down a door panel, a garage door panel, a steel garage door panel that was insulated, and we also took down a steel carpet. So those are two things that we normally have to cut. And they cut everything beautifully. And then we used the chainsaw cutting studs and stuff inside the house and that, and some other stuff. Pittsville has the chainsaw itself. They use it, they throw it on their UTVs and stuff, because then they don't have to bring the oil and the chain and the gas and all that stuff with. And then they just have to have the battery and a little quart of oil.
And the problem with battery operated tools, if you don't use them, you know, the batteries. It's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I guess.
We already have, with the Milwaukee tools, we already have the platform for some of the batteries already. That's why we're just going for the bare minimum so that they're set up and ready to go. Because our drills and stuff already use that platform.
They are the same
Yes.
batteries.
Some of them aren't that, they're not quite as high output, but talking with Phil and his son, that the batteries that we have, we can put those in a charger, and by the time the other ones would be depleted, then we could go into those. We're not looking at buying spare batteries. This is just enough batteries to get us going. And it's been in the fire service a trend to go towards the battery operated stuff, away from electrical cords, because I don't know if you guys are aware of, but the old Crafts Trading Center or Lang Equipment, they had a fire and they were using a corded Sawzall, and they ended up electrocuting somebody. They ended up having to go up to the emergency to be checked out. So, and certain items like this, the reason this stuff is at the end of the year is because as a fire department, we try to make sure that we're always within line. And this should, talking with Patty and everything, this should all fall us within line of our budget. And also on our budget, if you remember, there was kind of a goof up last year, tail end of last year, going into this year, where the repairs for the ladder had not been made in the previous year, so it came out. So I was given the direction to try to make that fall within the budget, and this allows us to fall within that budget. So we also ate that into our budget this year.
So if we make the transfer out of Fall Fast account, which the expenses have to be transferred yet,
Yes.
and they make these purchases. Of course I'm gonna go there. Of course. What is going to be left?
So is that what you're gonna use Fall Fest for this?
No.
So the expenses have to be transferred out at the end of the year out of the Fall Fest account and put into the fire department budget. Okay? So after we do that, and if they make these purchases, where are they sitting? That's what she's figuring right now. As soon as the computer works with her.
It really doesn't like me. Oh, hello. No.
Aren't they?
But you know, what was the other one for 19, number 19? 'Cause you kind of gave us 18.
19.
Number 19 is the gear dryer.
Is the what?
The gear dryer for drying turnout gear and our dummy suits, our water suits. After it had been pulled out of this next year's budget, I had called up a couple of vendors and tried to get some quotes and stuff and find out if there was something a little more economical out there that we could utilize. The first one, basically, I had not done a lot of research, because normally we just get the numbers for the budget and go, and then we do research, because you start getting too far out on your pricing, and then they go, well, the price isn't any good because it took too long to get to it. So that was just a hole in the budget.
And number 20 was what?
Number 20 is a rip bag, and basically with connections. Basically, that is, we take one of our existing air cylinders that we have now for breathing, you put it in the bag, you put a rope in with it, you hook up the hoses to it, and then if someone goes down inside a building or can't get out and we can find them, we can take this hose and hook it up to the breathers and give them more air. So they don't have to take their breathing apparatus off, and we don't pull another one and try to put it on. It's just a quick connect that goes into it, and then puts more air into their tank.
Is the dryer on here, number 19, a different dryer than the one we talked about
Yes.
last month?
It is. It does the same thing. This is a very down and dirty, simple unit. I like the unit itself actually for its simplicity. Basically, it has a couple of sensors in it that does not allow the heat to go above, I believe it's like 97 degrees. It doesn't let it go over that, which meets the criteria for cleaning gear or drying gear. It also just basically has a toggle switch on. The other unit that we had looked at had a timer on it and stuff, so it would shut off. This unit won't shut off. It just keeps running. The heater just cycles on and off. But if we need to be, if timer gets to be an issue that people can't come back and turn it off, if that gets to be an issue, we can always put a secondary timer or something on a switch or whatever.
Is it hardwired or plugged in the wall?
It's a plug in the wall.
Well, yeah, you can buy them timers, like, for your lights or whatever.
The other thing that we like about the plug-in, this one uses a little bit less current, so we'll be able to, in times when like the apparatus bay, we get super humid air, we can put it in our classroom, and then we can use it in there also, because that's air conditioned and climate controlled, so there's not as much moisture in there. Get it dried if we need to.
I guess my concern is, and you hear it all the time,
This was.
just because there's money left in the budget doesn't really mean that you have to spend it.
So that they're already over budget.
Well, we're already, because the, insurance. Insurance was not included in the fire department's original budget.
But we still have to pay that.
Well, you still have to pay it, and it should be accounted for that according to the audit that was done the last time I was involved in it.
So we're gonna be over budget even with these,
Without it,
without it.
yeah. To the total of the, insurance, which is on your checklist, which is
7,000.
7,000. Wrong paper.
7,100 and some dollars.
Yep, yep.
Well, it was
I think you
15.
got the total in here.
It was 15 something on our
That was
check.
the total, but the fire department share was 7,000 something.
Yeah.
So that had to come out of their budget, that's it.
So that's our insurance for everything, 15?
Yeah, but that's not workman's comp.
Well, okay, because I thought it was like 18 or 19.
It's more than that.
It's gonna, yeah. It's
All
gonna
right.
be- Yeah.
With-
All total, workman's comp was paid in November. I think it was 6,000. Tell you that. Maybe.
Well, that explains it, the comp is
Mhm.
included in it. Heaven forbid that it would have went down.
It never goes down. Workers' comp doesn't work that way. State sets that, we don't get a choice.
Work comp is $4,783. And part of that also came out because we had to split it.
Yeah. So Fall Fest expenses were, is this amount?
No, all fest expense is $16,000. $30,707.60. This is over.
Do you have a final total
It's got like $50 left.
for Fall Fest? I was asking Rob if they ever had got a final
Yeah,
total
Deb or Patty's got
for Fall Fest.
16707.
Expense or income?
What are you looking at?
Well, both.
The expenses are $16,707.60. Okay, they had 1,000 in there to start with, I believe it was. There was 3,500 that was put in there for a check.
That was the sale of the
The
rescue.
second, right? And there
That's your
was,
balance, no. This is Fall Fest income. This is the savings account income.
so they
which
made
is-
approximately 14, right?
That was a net, made 14
Net.
after expenses?
Is that 14?
Am I right on that? Am I looking at the right numbers? Okay.
That $30,648.66 is only the deposits to the savings account for Fall Fest.
Right,
The total on the savings account is $35,000,
right, because there was
Yeah.
monies in there in the sale of it.
because they also get other donations. They got donations from the Snowmobile Club for $100. You've got the fire, so it's not, it's gonna show up different on the savings account than it does for the income of the Fall Fest account. They're accounted for separately.
So once we make the transfer of the expenses, before purchase orders, they got $50 left, roughly.
If you go only with the Fall Fest totals. But then you add the other 4,000 that's left in the savings account, what are you gonna do with that?
Left in what savings, in theirs?
The savings account also has the
That's their
sale
Fall
of the,
Fest.
the sale of the truck and other donations
That's in their Fall Fest account.
in the savings account.
Okay. No, we're not even talking that, because that'll be left there with their profit, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that 3,500 from the sale of that truck was supposed to go toward a shortage on payment. for
But they covered that.
Expenses.
They covered that through their budget.
So just to answer your question, being the new guy here who's trying to figure out what's, these purchase orders, this 9358 total.
Mm-hmm.
If that is approved, where does that money come from?
I have no idea.
I was not under the insurance deal here. That is a change from what I had, the numbers that I had been working with.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we can deal with this stuff here, it's just, that was not part of,
You didn't figure that into your budget?
that, yeah, that information was not given to me, so I could not figure that in.
Okay.
I mean, is this money that is left over from a prior budget that hasn't been spent? Is this
No,
money that we have to
no,
budget
no.
next year? Or I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, we are sitting at the end of the year, and like Rob just said, he did not figure his insurance. So what they were trying to do was spend what money they assumed they had left. Okay. And they don't. We got about $50 before the purchase orders.
So we don't have the money for this.
No,
So it's kind of null and void.
unless you choose to take it out of your Fall Fest funds, and then we can
At this
discuss
time, I
that.
can't do that.
Okay.
Or you can't take any out of it, or?
I personally
mean-
cannot, it has to go in
It
front of
has
the
to
group.
go.
It has to go through a whole process.
Yeah,
And this
Yeah.
the last year's donations are actually already earmarked for 2 defibs. So that's done, and that's also, and we couldn't spend everything that we had brought in this year for the precinct, we also wanted to build up
Fall Fest funds.
the startup money also.
The startup money, that's deceitful because you get a lot of donations that come in before anything is paid out. You know, that 15,000 you're supposed to have tucked away. Well, you get a lot of donations and everything prior to any money even going out. So those are covered. So,
But like the band, I mean, we still have to have money left in there though, because we still have the band and
You
different
got
things
the
that come.
deposit for that.
Deposits
type
and
of
some of the
thing,
tents
yeah.
and stuff come in before we
Mhm.
start fundraising, so.
Yeah, and our ordinance reads to the
Mhm.
effect that they have to have so much,
But they do,
yeah.
in essence, they do, by the donations that come in, it's covered before anything is paid out,
Right, but,
so.
but wasn't it this year that they had to use from the general fund in order to get
No,
started?
they did not, they actually had all the donations in prior to us ever writing out the check. They did. The donations come in ahead of time, they usually start coming in, what, August?
Yeah.
Before that.
Even before then, like Pat said. So there's money in there to cover whatever they choose to spend, right? Because the checks aren't wrote out until, usually Fall Fest, or, you know, right before that. So the money's there already, and then basically all you got is for the sale of that day. So, all the donations are in already. When it gets to the point where the town is gonna have to kick some in, then they'll have to relook at that, but it didn't cost the township anything for their Fall Fest fund.
Profits were up, how much from the year before? 4,000?
I don't have any.
No, I don't think it was that much, it was, what was it? It was pretty close to the same, if I'm not mistaken. Have you got those numbers?
Of course not.
Of course not.
And I thought the year before was like right around 10,000 that you
I
net.
thought it was 12.
And if you did 14 this year, you know, that's,
I think it did go up some.
that was a
Maybe
pretty,
before.
pretty good increase.
Yeah, better weather and more people.
Well,
Better weather was the big thing. Now, that's
That's the key.
coin flip every year. I have no control.
that and whatever else is going on that weekend.
That too, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I need a motion on the purchase orders.
I guess if there isn't any money there, I'll make the motion not to approve.
Do we need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
I-
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Next item, end of year balances, transfers and allocations. Okay, well, we already know what fire department one is. Did you take that paper already?
You wanna start with that one?
Yeah, why don't we do, oh, what do you have in order there? How do you wanna do that?
Doesn't matter.
Pick a spot.
Pick one.
Fire department,
Okay.
because that was the handiest just a second ago.
It still is. As of November 30th, because Steve has not balanced it for December, which still might be a little bit of interest coming in December. Balance on the Fall Fest, the fire department savings account is $35,564.
Okay, and the expenses?
Fall Fest expense, $16,707.60.
So that's the amount we need to transfer into the general fund. The 16,707.60. So I'll need a motion for that. Correct?
I'll make that motion.
In a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Or no? Motion carried. Next item. We got 16,707.
Oh, the park. Oh, wait a minute, where's that? And once again, we're dealing with 11/30 balances. The park savings account is $7,267.94.
Okay, number again.
7267.94.
Okay.
The
So we start out with
figuring out what we need to keep in there for deposits.
The issue is there've been 3 different people handling this account, so some of the funds were deposited into the savings account, some were deposited into the checking account.
So, she had to go through and see what we need to keep in there for the deposits for 2020 that have already been paid. So what do we need to transfer on there, Pam?
We need for 2020, we need left in there
Right,
1,600.
okay,
If you're paying the checking account back for the deposit, or the
rental.
rental refunds, that total is $5,900. Oh, wait a
I was
minute,
gonna say
sorry,
that's
2,400, 2,400.
So we need a motion to transfer $2,400 from the pavilion or the park savings account to the general checking.
Also move.
And a second,
I'll second that.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next item up for bids.
I don't think the price is right.
Yeah.
Well, the tax savings, that was zeroed out, so that's not
Right.
an issue. The only thing you got left is your public works. Now, these will have, both of these CDs will have interest at the end of the year that's not calculated at this point.
Right. That's for the bridge fund. Those will stay. We're not gonna be.
What's the total on that?
Just about 120. 180 at this point. Okay, also, what is the balance of, well, the checking account is gonna be approximately 80,000, correct?
No, you're looking at payroll. That's well over $1,000 or more.
You mean the payroll taxes?
Payroll taxes.
Okay, so we'll figure a rough guess of about 75.
Okay.
But
And
in,
you
but
already added 16,707 and
2,400.
2,400.
Also, 1,200 has to stay in the checking for the grant that the clerk received in 2019, because she hasn't spent that yet, and she has to get all the garbage for that and then verify it with the state and all that good stuff. So that is gonna stay in there. Also, we have 2 insurance checks coming in yet, or 2 claims. One was for the park. That was, what will be back on that is gonna be about $1,200 on that one. And then, for sure, about, how much was that pump over there that we replaced?
It was 1,100, 12?
I thought it was more than that, 16.
Good question.
Whatever the
What
difference
did we bill it
was,
to?
the 1,000 is deductible over there.
Who was it billed to?
Hell, I don't know. It would have been in September, we paid it in October, I'm sure. I thought it was like 16 or 1,800. But anyway,
That was just for the pump,
just for the pump.
not the rest of the stuff?
The rest of the stuff is just gonna be a straight reimbursement is what it'll be, so we'll pay for it, they'll reimburse us. But the 2 checks that should be coming from 19 won't be coming until 20. So I want them also taken care of before the end of the year. You know, so it doesn't get confused with 2020's budget, it's actually 19, so it's gonna be roughly a couple thousand total. By year.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. No. Where the heck is buildings and ground? There it is. Why are you not? Let me in there.
Yeah, because each one had a $1,000 deductible. And we paid that already, so now we're just gonna be waiting for the checks to come back.
$1,164.
164, and the other one was, you smart ass. $164, and then the park one was 1,200, wasn't it? 1,199.01.
Now that one you might have me on.
Because I think the check was $2,074.01, and then I have them put together, that was 175. So, just a hair under 12, let's put it.
Yeah, I think you got me on that one.
Yeah.
Park. Oh, no, park expense.
This was 2074. 1 cent was.
2,074, 1 cent, 175.
175. So,
Fire department putting them together.
no, they're not. I had to get it done, and the insurance company pays for it anyway, so I just did it. They're all together.
Here.
I'm the treasurer.
So it'd be, $1,249.
So when did they put them together?
Saturday.
Must've been the last week, because they were all laying, the pieces were laying up
Last
there.
week, right before.
They were laying up there the
So we
week
could get
before.
that submitted.
Right after we talked to the insurance agent,
Yeah,
they said they were gonna pay for it.
yeah, they said they were gonna pay for it, so we got it taken care of before the end of the year. So we can get turned in, but the check will be for this last year, so.
So what's your total you wanna keep in there? 1,200 and?
94, blah, blah, blah. 1299.01.
That's for your picnic tables and.
Yeah. And then, the other would be 164, you said. Fire department, their share of the insurance, that's coming back. 'Cause you said
They
it
got
was
1,000 deductible.
They got 1,000 deductible also.
So what are you looking at? 1,300?
1353.01.
13,
So that'll be put into
1360.
the general checking also, so we're gonna have a number at the end of the year of approximately, we're gonna be close.
Brought up now, but I was just on my way up from the box.
95,000. Yeah, we're around there. $95,407.60. Oh, I forgot the 01, sorry. Anyway,
Was it the little man?
figure about 95,000 we're gonna have to transfer.
20 to 2.
So, now my next question is, do you wanna buy any culverts
Thank you.
prior to, because right now, for, if we put,
I don't know,
60,000.
I don't know what size.
I'm talking about on only, those big ones we're gonna need. It's just a thought.
Oh, yeah, I never ever heard the price tag on
Okay. I think Kevin Lang is the one that takes care of that, isn't it? Because I know he was the one that had mentioned it to me, that if we needed to spend some money, we could prepay for the culverts, you know, because we're gonna need them anyway. So I don't know what you guys wanna do on that.
it. Late now.
Not really.
Today's the 30th.
You know what day it is. The phone
Well-
call and a fax invoice and,
If it can be done, I guess. I just never ever heard, any dollar amounts that he ever came up with.
I think he had put on the paperwork to be determined at that point. But I mean,
Right,
he can
that's-
determine that really quick if we need to. But I just wanna know, do you wanna do that, or you just wanna put, what we need into the bridge and put the rest into highway, and we can do whatever we need to do, next year? How do you wanna do it? Is it gonna hurt us for GTA by not spending?
Right, that was my question.
It is gonna hurt us by not spending.
So, I would say if it might interfere with that, we probably
Get it
should
spent,
spend what we need to spend.
order those culverts and the rest put into the savings account, or the CDs.
The bridge fund.
the bridge fund, yeah.
What else is left?
Which one?
Well, there's two of them. They both go to the same place anyway, so. The one that's gonna be coming due the soonest, I would guess, that's when you put it in.
What renews in January, the end of January,
Yeah,
and the other in, what, October?
so the one in January would be the one that we'd dump it into.
Add it into that one.
And then we'd have a sound amount then, so. Spend what we can on the culverts.
Yep.
So you need to call Kevin Lang.
Yeah, I got his number.
Yeah. And get us a number and tell him to email us an invoice today. And then I'm gonna make a motion to approve that check for the purchase of the culverts. So I'll need a second on that one.
I was thinking that.
Any more discussion?
What happens if he can't get us anything?
We'll take care of it. He'll get us something. There'll be a number there. Even if he comes in a little bit under, we'll have it close.
And if he's gone for the holidays?
There's somebody else up there I'm sure we can talk to. Today's Monday, so,
Tomorrow's the last day of the year.
no. So,
Treasurer would be right with you, he just went to the mailbox.
Okay.
All in favor? Do you want a roll call?
yeah, we'll roll call on that one.
Russ?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Gary? Debbie?
Aye.
0 bills.
Thank you.
No bills at all? Oh, we are on a roll. All right, is there any other ones, Pat? We need a motion to take leftover monies to put into the checking account. We're done with all of this.
We could do that today, or we will have a better number.
Okay. Well, you guys wanna wait till January for that one? And then we'll have a firm number, okay?
After the, we find out what we can do with culverts, we'll have a better idea of our number that you can transfer into the CD, we can do it in January.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
Motion to adjourn? I think that was everything. Let me check my list here. Yeah. I'm good.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the meeting is adjourned. Transferred it from.
I need your
the
signature, sir.
savings account. All monies that come in, get deposited into there. And transferred it into our general check.
Because we had paid for this.
Right,
So just pay this.
right.
Usually we're on the other one. 35.
Yes.
Right, that's exactly right.
I just.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Do you, want us to mail your check, or do you want to?
Actually, we did pretty damn good, sir. We have $500,000.
Thank you. Guys look through the.
As soon as we get them all signed.
It's basically some 10 things that was very hard.
Should've done more.
All right. 55 cents, yes, sir.
That's what messed up with trying to get the bids out.
That's why I gave you guys
All
this.
that, but
Got it out for you.
I figured